Hi, this is Josh from Shamma Sandals, and today on Run With Us, we are in Soquel, California, and we're going on the Enchanted Forest Loop. Haven't been here before, and who knows what's going to happen. Hopefully we find the trail and find our way back. Let's get going. Okay, campsite?
So stay with the orange thing.
You stay with the orange thing? Famous last words. Your confidence and bravado in choosing the path.
I'm not totally sure if this is the trail. It starts to do this, and I've never been to the end, so who knows what this thing is. No, we don't know what's going on back here, and that's what makes it more fun.
The run we're on today, it's called the Enchanted Forest Loop. We're here in Soquel, California. So we're like, 5 miles, 6 miles south of my hometown of Santa Cruz. We're going up into the Santa Cruz Mountains. And this is a gorgeous, gorgeous place to run. We've got some big redwood trees and a lot of thin ones. That means this area was forested at some point. This is supposed to be a loop. It's supposed to be about 5.5 miles, but we haven't ever done this loop before. So we're gonna see if we can find our way around this thing. We had to go past a monastery to get to the trailhead. And along the way, there was a path down near the, I think it's the Soquel Creek. We took this trail down by the creek, and there was this path, and it was just a ton of fun. There were logs all over the place from down trees. You'd have to jump over them, run down one side, up the other side of the trail. It was a lot of fun, which brings me to my point. I've mentioned before that if you learn to enjoy the run or running, you'll run more. And rather than making it some kind of thing that you have to do and you're not excited to do. So I've said before, I'm not really into races or time so much as I am into the miles traveled or the adventure side of it. And one of the aspects of that I think is really important is being a human. I mean, it's this movement that we can do, like fish can swim, and birds can fly, and humans can walk and run. I really don't want to let that thing go, that ability to run, because running and walking and hiking, it can take you on all kinds of adventures or allow you to participate in life a lot more. I was looking at my kids. I have 4 daughters, and one of the things I've noticed about them that, I admire is the fact that they don't really think about where they're going to run next. They just run. Everything they're doing is like at full speed. They just launch themselves into their running. And whether it's across the living room or outside playing tag or hide and go seek, just kind of throwing themselves at life because they don't have any problem moving at this point, And here I am, I'm 39, and I'm a lot more calculating when it comes to running. So I'll think about my next move. Can I really run that fast? Do I feel like running that fast right now? Or will I trip? Will I fall? Will I hurt myself? They just don't seem to have that right now. So I envy that. Running itself is what a human does. It's a big part of what a human does. And so when you run, you can enjoy, experience that, and keep yourself healthy to be able to do it in the future as much as you can.
Bending out right now.
Easier climbing up than climbing down, Willie?
Not necessarily. It's pretty slippery up here.
What's the problem though? It's not like you're way up in the air or anything. So we've been making an easy run up the mountain for a mile now. We're huffing and puffing a little bit, but
this is nothing compared to what we usually do, so I'm not worried.
Yeah, we've seen way worse, way worse. Actually, up here on the ridge, it's really, really cool. We're getting some light from the open space on the left and the right side of the ridge coming through the trees, and it's just this beautiful pathway through the redwoods on the top of a mountain. Pretty incredible.
What's his name? Robert Frost poem. Yeah. Two roads diverge out of wood. Do you know it, Josh?
I know it, but I can't recite it.
Ah, that's good, and it's so appropriate.
And we're taking the road less traveled.
That's it, yes. No, for real, I mean, that's what we're doing, right?
It is. No,
we don't know what's going on back here, and that's what makes it more fun.
But our inability to quote even one line. Let me give you the gist of the Robert Frost poem.
Am I sure it's Robert Frost? Is it Walt Whitman or something?
It's Robert Frost. Okay. Take the road less traveled. We're cruising through the mountains here up on the ridge, and the trail's definitely a lot tighter here.
It's full of poison oak.
Full of poison oak. Willie was having some trouble with his calf, and we think mostly that's due to the fact that Willie runs once a week. Once every 2 weeks, like he'll run with me. Until you start running at least twice a week, you're gonna get hurt once a week. Willie can tell you that from experience, but it's the truth. You really need to run at least twice a week. Otherwise, you're not gonna sort of solidify those gains, and you're always gonna be running outside of your comfort zone, so to speak. We've been running for about 2 miles now, a little over 2 miles, and we don't know where this is taking us. We hope it's gonna send us around on a big loop, but we honestly don't know. And that's the way a lot of our runs go, because you know, we're breaking out of what we normally would do and trying new runs.
This takes us back to the monastery, so this, we don't know where it goes. So two paths diverge in a deep wood. Let's take the path more traveled this time. Huh? We've gone pretty far. It's pretty good. We don't always have to listen to Robert Frost. Okay. We could just go back this way. So it'll be like 6 miles. That's pretty good. Okay, no, that could be 30 for all we know.
So we've been on our return trip down the mountain on this loop for probably 1.5 miles, 2 miles now. And this section of trail is just fun. It's gorgeous. Like running through these redwoods, you know, canopies way above us. And a lot of these redwoods have like a moss on them. So you're getting some really cool colors. But the path itself is just a slight downhill, and it's kind of rolling. And I love it. I was talking earlier about, you know, why run? Because it's fun. Once you kind of get to the point where you're in shape enough, you don't have to be in Olympic shape, just good enough you can handle your 5 or 6 miles. Man, just bombing through these trails is just a ton of fun. So Willie, which sandals did you wear today?
Not the ones for water, or the leather ones.
Okay.
They still work. Still works fine.
Do you prefer the leather or the grip top?
I prefer leather when I can, but yeah, in this kind of slop, I mean, grip top would be way better. Yeah.
It's been storming all week. We had like three systems move through, something like that, recently. And so even though it hasn't rained about a day and a half, the Santa Cruz Mountains are just oozing water. It's the only way I can describe it. not a cloud in the sky, but water just is coming out of the ground everywhere. I chose to wear my mountain goats with the Ultra Grip, and they're doing great.
Very wide.
I just want to say that they're so much fun in the water. I've been trying to tell people about that for years. The Ultra Grip mountain goats, or whatever you want, in the winter, I prefer the mountain goats just because it's muddy. But they're so much fun. Like the experience of running through a puddle, full speed, feet stay on the sandals, and I don't know, it's just awesome. It's great. So you gotta try it sometime.
Cool little, I don't know, but just the way the light's coming through on these mossy maple trees. That's cool. Everything's so green right there. It's like a bright green.
I didn't know you were such an artist, Willy, and a poet.
It's cool, isn't it?
A poet.
Am I alone in thinking this? Or do you like that too?
Hey, I can't see so good. Is that Robert Frost there?
You found me. I've been alive all this time. I've been in a deep wood.
All right, so we are just about back to the beginning of the trail. We made it, we found it, we went up the mountain. There were a number of different points we could have switched off at, and we found the right trail. So we're on our loop, we're almost at the beginning, and that's where the monastery is. So we're gonna be quiet now, and we're not gonna film as we get back to the very beginning of the trail. But my opinion of this run is it's awesome. Twice you get to run by the two different creeks. The redwoods are beautiful, the trails are really nice. There's a lot of poison oak up on the ridge, so you're gonna wanna definitely wash that off if you come by, or wear some long pants or whatever. But Enchanted Loop Forest, really beautiful here in the Soquel part of the Santa Cruz Mountains. Hope you enjoyed running with us. We'll see you next time. Thanks for running with us. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button.